A group at the University of Southern California is working to preserve the history of the Holocaust using hologram. This extraordinary exhibit is scheduled to open to the public tomorrow, but Vicki has a sneak peek today. This sounds so fascinating, Vic.
Oh, fascinating is the perfect word for this. I'm going to give you a little California Live history lesson. So there are less than 500,000 Holocaust survivors still living. Most of them are in their 80s. So sadly, in a couple of years, we're probably going to start losing some of them. Well, the USC Shoah Foundation, the USC Fisher Museum wanted to make sure that their stories of the Holocaust live on. So they have come up with this wonderful exhibit here. It's called Facing Survival. The artist David is joining me. Thank you so much for sharing your work. It is stunning. This is some of the stuff you're going to be able to see down here. Tell us about this piece.
Yes, this is a painting that I've been working on for the last 2 years of 11 LA-based Holocaust survivors, all survivors of Auschwitz. And the piece is 18 feet by 8 feet high.
And this is the big unveiling of it, right?
Yes, today at 5 o'clock.
We're going to walk through the museum so you guys get a chance to see some of this. This is some charcoal work you did. But you were telling me that you didn't want to just paint, that you wanted to tell their stories. So you actually sat everyone down that you painted and interviewed them for hours. Why was that so important to do?
Yeah, it's really important to really get to understand your subject that you're painting and understand the context of how they live, where they live, about their family. It just makes the painting a little bit more extra and understanding and helps get their testimony out.
Well, I will say the paintings are so realistic. For a while, I thought they were photographs. They're beautiful. It really is like looking into the soul of these people. Thank you again for sharing your work. It is truly amazing. As we're walking through the museum, you can see all of the people. A lot of them are Los Angeles-based, which I think makes it even more special for us here in California. Now joining us is Selma. She is with the USC Fisher Museum. And one of the things you guys have done to set this exhibit apart is you said, hey, let's make it interactive for the visitors.
Yes, Vicki, this was very important for us because normally you go to a painting show and you look at paintings, which is marvelous. But we thought we wanted to have layers of interaction so that people could relate to the works themselves, but also learn more about the stories that David has tried so hard to reproduce in the paintings themselves.
Well, we're going to sneak down here and we're going to look at this. This is one of my favorite pictures in here. And you've got a little code over here. And tell us what. People can just swipe their phone and what do they hear?
Yes, Vicki. This is called a QR code, and they come in with their iPhones and they basically put them up next to it, and then they are privy to these great, deep and moving stories that the Shoah Foundation has made into testimony over the last few years.
Oh, it's truly amazing. Thank you so much. All right, we're going to continue our journey right through the museum where we're looking, and I wanted to tell you they've actually kicked this up a notch, so you're going to have all of this as interactive, but now this is really something spectacular. Stephen, who is with the USC Shoah Foundation, this is taking it to a whole nother level.
That's right. Well, you see these beautiful paintings, including Eva here. She's one of 55,000 testimonies that the Shoah Foundation took. She's the stepsister of Anne Frank and a family friend. Wow. But now what we're going to be able to do is not only see her painting, but also interact with Eva.
So you're actually going to be able to pick up this microphone over here, and you can, anybody that's visiting the museum can actually come in and ask a question.
Yeah, just ask a question.
So tell me, you got some, tell me your story.
My name is Eva Schloss. I was born in Austria, and I would like to tell you a little bit about my life during the Holocaust.
Wow, so everybody's going to have that opportunity. It is
the questions that she can answer. You can come down here, sit and talk with Eva in conversation. What's beautiful about this is future generations will be able to do that too.
Oh, it's amazing. And to have a conversation makes it even a little bit more special.
So much more intimate. Yes.
All right. But there's one last person I want to introduce you to. We got a little video back in the studio. I told you the Shoah Foundation has archived 55,000 Holocaust survivor stories. And in the video, I hope that you're watching right now, see that cute little boy? Well, that cute little boy has grown into this handsome man. This is Elia. He is a graduate of the USC here. And your grandfather is actually one of those that Steven Spielberg and the Shoah Foundation interviewed in the 90s during the time of Schindler's List.
Yes, I was about 9 years old, and USC Shoah Foundation came and interviewed him, and it was part of the Spielberg's plan to get everyone's testimonies in, and it was really exciting to be part of that. I remember vaguely a little bit about it, but finally watching it today now, it's just great to see all these, experiences that he had, and I learned so much more about my grandfather because of it.
Oh, he would be proud of you too, let me just tell you. All right, the museum, the exhibit opens tomorrow. If you can only hit one museum this fall, make sure it's this one. It is really extraordinary.
Yeah, Vicki, thank you. That's amazing how technology can preserve history like that. Amazing. Thank you so much.